Good evening, Rust enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright, 'cause it's time for the RADTOWN showcase. Yes, we had the skins rotating about 2 hours ago, which is fine. We've got a good insight for what's selling quite nicely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and take a look at all of these skins and figure out which of these are abnormal. So, as you can see, 10 skins this week, quite a nice amount, but the selection, the choices, people have been questioning that. And don't worry, we'll discuss that in a bit. So, Bird of Luck MP5, that is abnormal. The Heater Sar is not abnormal. The Heavy Night Jacket is abnormal. The Junkernaught Furnace is not abnormal. The Neon Dome Sheet with a Double Door is abnormal. The Quarantine Tools are not abnormal. The Rainbow Pony Pump Shotgun is not abnormal. The Recycled Hazmat Bow is not abnormal. But the Ultramarine Sheet with a Door, yes, that is abnormal. For this week, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 abnormal skins to chase after next week. That's fine. Can't complain too much. With the amount that we've had over the past few weeks, hey, that's fine. Cool. Right then, so let's hop over to here. You can see we've had a decent amount of sales so far after these 2 hours. And let's talk about what we're looking at. So yeah, only the jacket was accepted today. And you might question that. You're probably quite upset, you know. We didn't see any Commando, for example. Commando Tier 2 was submitted quite some time back, but hey, it wasn't accepted. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, so I'm going to point out the expectation that we're going to potentially have complete the sets this September, in a few weeks' time. So reminding of you right now, if I could go over to here on SMDD app, we've got this little timer button here. If you click that, you can navigate through all the years very quickly. If I go to September 15, 2022, look at this complete the sets roster. We had a Tier 2 armor, we had Tier 3 armor, we had hoodie and pants, and we had, some extra batches of boots. I can't help but assume this is what we're going to see in a few weeks' time. So if we could potentially see this happening fairly soon, maybe we shouldn't be too surprised to see rusters like this happening. Hardly any clothing and armor skins, based on the idea that we're probably going to be seeing a lot of them very soon. That's a big hope, maybe a cope, you get the idea. But hey, we did see some interesting collection continuations at the very least today. But yeah, I am still kind of questioning that jacket, and I'll talk more about that in a bit. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of these skins based on total sales at the moment, and we're going to show them off. We're going to discuss, are they looking to be nice investments? And we'll talk about, how's the collection building up? Is it looking A-okay? You get the idea. Right, so let's get started. Let's start talking about the likes of the Heavy Night Jacket. Okay then, so, Heavy Night Jacket. I am questioning this quite a fair bit. Why? What's wrong? Well then, as you look at the likes of this, you might see, okay, it's got transparency, looks pretty cool. But do you not realise that we had the hoodie and pants submitted just before this? The jacket got accepted over this, which leads me to believe this might just be a one-off acceptance. They didn't pick this before this? Okay. And if we do see this turn into a new collection, it's another metallic collection. Oh, it's not like we didn't have Cyber Armour and Damascus early this year. Funnily enough, guess who made Damascus? It's the same people! Hooray! Cool! It's over down here somewhere. It was quite a few months back, if you can remember. Oh, there we go, Damascus. I'm surprised they never picked their Damascus jacket. At least it would have been part of a collection. Alright, well, anyway, moving on. So, by default, I am questioning this, because it's not that special anymore to see a jacket with transparency, especially considering we have one given away for free. Yes, for free. And of course, we already have the Berserker Cloak jacket. That's sitting there at $1.15. This is selling at $3. By default, with the amount of jacket skins that we've seen so far this year, and with me expecting potentially even more, I don't look at that with positive eyes. I don't look at that, in terms of the financial perspective, if it's going to work out very well. Yeah. So, yes, let's just give this a good proper look now. I'm in game, and yes, I'm dancing. Not happily, but... So, let's stop. Let's give this a good proper look. So, I will give credit to Mr. Multi-R Hatbarris and Mr. Damned In. They've done a splendid job for what it is. This is looking very nice. Now, if we were to... There we go. Give that a good look. You can see all the nice reflection, the shine. And then it's just like a standard-looking cape. Which... Okay, sure, it's not the end of the world. It's fine, but it... I don't know, maybe it could have been like a shiny cape or something. I don't know. Hey, maybe this is a lot more realistic. Maybe this is exactly how it would have been if it's like the actual real armor. Okay, fair enough, that's cool. But what can we expect from here on now? Are we definitely going to see Heavy Night turn into an actual proper clothing and armor collection? And as I said, another metallic set? Uh, okay, sure. Not feeling super optimistic for the likes of that. As I said, we've already gone through the likes of Hardsuit last year, and earlier this year we had Cyber Armor and Damascus. And if you go look at them now, I'm not sure if they're doing super great. In fact, why don't we go take a look? So, Hardsuit collection. Let's go get a good look at you. Hardsuit, how are you holding up? Well, the Hardsuit collection currently looks like this. After the summer of 2024, which was very, very nice for skins, the vast majority are in the negative. Oh dear, what about the Cyber collection? How are you doing? Let's go take a look at this, and it's currently looking like that. Now, in all fairness, it's not too bad. It's 50-50, but that's only up by 20%. That's only up by 28%. Not too bad. This, however, down by 52 and down by 45. This down by 32 and down by 50. Oh dear. And then if we were to go over to here and take a look at Damascus, is this performing better? I've Damascus. Whoopsie, I spelt it wrong. And you know what? In all fairness, that's actually looking very good. All right, maybe I was a little bit too judgmental, but I will sit here and say we have had quite a lot of metallic sets somewhat recently. Are we really in the mood for another one? I can't help but assume, especially after seeing all the feedback from people today, I don't think they do. So, yeah, okay, fine. It is what it is. This is probably going to be okay if we see this happen all over again, if it's exactly like that. But just to point out, the people that made this jacket here made this as well. And at the very least, you could probably pair that with this. Because for some strange reason, when they tried to make the Damascus jacket, Facepunch didn't want it, which you can see right here. They made two versions. But, Right, so, talking about the potential future for it. Yeah, I'm probably just going to end up sticking with a Bilder. That right there, it is abnormal. It is very likely to go down in price. Yeah, let's go just take a look at all the jacket skins that we had so far this year. How many of them are doing good? None of them. Down by 39, down by 15, down by 9, down by 26, down by 37, and down by 73. Look, it's another metallic jacket. Cool. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. So I'm not feeling very confident. That's awkward. Yeah, maybe we'll still see some continuations. Fair enough. I'll like that, but I'm also not liking it. Is it just a random one-off pick, or will it be actually developing into something? We got to wait until, the end of this weekend. Yep, we're going to go wait and see what's going to be produced for the likes of that potential collection. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just sit there and say we'll just leave it for now and we'll move on, because I want to see how many sales that has by Wednesday, because of course every Wednesday we'll be doing the abnormal barders. If you aren't sure what that is, basically, I will sit there, I will figure out prices for all the skins in the current Rust store after 6 days, and we'll discuss what prices we might want to offer, what might actually work out to be a perfectly fine price to pick up those skins for a cheaper price, in hopes of picking them up for that price and flipping them for a very nice profit at some point in the future. If you don't fully understand what abnormals are, please consider watching this video. Watch the first 5 minutes. Consider watching these 2 videos here to give you a good insight. And once you've understood everything from there, consider just skipping ahead to the barders and you can see how it all plays out. It's not too hard to understand. I think you'll be okay. Right, so with the likes of that, I'm very sorry to say it, but I just don't have that much confidence. I'm leaving it. I very likely will just stick with doing a Bilder. Let's move on. Right then, so, goodbye, jacket. Hello, double door. Right then, so, here we have the Neon Dome Sheet Metal Double Door. And basically, this is a collection continuation of the Lighthouse jacket, Lighthouse skin Sheet Metal Door that we had accepted not too long ago. Get a good look at that. Potentially on the horizon, are we going to see many more doors, deployables, and whatnot, showcasing a very nice, cool-looking monument in the future? What would you like to see? Small oil rig furnace? Sure, what else would be a funny one? Bandit camp rug? Just keep thinking, just keep offering ideas. I'm pretty sure Sadist will be pumping out some very cool looking designs. Anyway, there we go. Now we got the proper glow. Get a good look at that. Do you like? Because there's one thing I will point out with the likes of this. I think this is the first skin to be accepted in quite a while where it's not symmetrical on both sides. It's not like a sheet metal door that's been like duplicated, flipped and whatnot. No, this is just one grand big picture showcasing Dome in all its glory. Why don't we showcase the the daytime now? And yeah, let's get a good closer look at the likes of this. Get a good look at all that shine. You can see the sun reflecting all the railings. You can see how it's all lining up with the circuitry. Very cool looking skin. Do a lot of people appreciate this? I'm sure they will. Now, it's another sheep on the door. The 12th skin to be accepted so far this year. And we have to question, is that likely going to hold up? No, is it going to do well? Is it going to hold up its value? Is it going to retain? I will sit here and say at the very least it will probably do a very good job of retaining value. I fully expect more skins to be produced. I fully expect continuations to likely be accepted. I look forward to it. What will appear after this? We've got to look on the workshop. That's all we can really do. But yeah, it is a splendid looking skin, and it has a very strong potential for a proper collection continuation appearing easily over the course of the next few weeks. Now, it's up to Facepunch if they'll definitely accept them. Now, you might be well aware that we've recently had the likes of a certain Ultramarine collection being very successful over the past 3 weeks. Will that be as successful, or will it just be an every now and then type of thing, which would still be perfectly fine? But we are getting closer to October time. October time is expected to be the worst time for all Ruskins over the course of all of this year, as in, you should expect that many Ruskins will reach their lowest point in terms of their price at some point in October time. It's just about 2 months away. I've warned you more than enough that we really are getting close to it now. So maybe it does drop off pretty quickly. But will it still work out nicely in the further future? Will it still do perfectly fine around January 2025 or the summer of 2025? Again, regardless, if we see those collection continuations, I would still expect potentially a nice spike in demand, spike in price. Right, so hopping back out of here, as I have said, all the sheet metal doors that we received this year is quite an alarming amount, but they're still doing okay. Up 21, up 58, up 78, up 80, up 18, up 33, up 13, up 24, up 46. That's good. Now, I have made mention of this. Initially, we were having a bit of a drop-off with our Ruskins, along with the likes of the player count. But August so far has been doing very good. I guess all those EU kids that jumped in because they're not playing... Well, they're not at school anymore, playing school. They're not at school anymore, they're playing Rust instead. Okay, they came in clutch. It's holding up quite nicely. When you compare this to the likes of last year, we're doing a lot better. So August this year has turned out very nicely. But are we still expecting October to potentially be a bad time? I'm still fully expecting it. It might be the end of October, it might be the beginning, but as long as you are aware, you're prepared. Right, so this right here, how much are you going to sell? It's been 2 hours. You've done 1,780 subscribers. Let's just be 100% sure of that. 1,900. Okay. If this ends up selling more than the likes of, I don't know, let's say Abyss. Abyss felt like it's a very average amount, 17,000. If you do above that, it would be a little bit more questionable. But as I said, currently it is an active deplorable collection. Currently we should be expecting the likes of new deplorable skins to be produced by the likes of Mr. Sadist. What's next? Who knows? You could probably go over to here to the workshop page and people are probably already offering ideas. So let's go see, and that's just congratulations, which is totally fine. But yeah, feel free to go tell him something if you've got a cool idea in your head. I would love to see what gets produced next, but I've got to wait, and so do you. That is abnormal. We don't need to rush into buying it. We can wait, we can do our abnormal barders first, we can look at it afterwards, we can look at the support, and we can question if we actually want to buy it afterwards. Sheet metal double doors, whilst we've been getting a lot of them so far this year, they've actually kind of performed very well during the likes of the summer. But the summer doesn't last forever, and eventually they very likely will all dip down in price, along with all skins in general, so... yeah, gotta wait, want to see how many sales we've had by Wednesday, then make the decision, so... okay, we'll leave it at that. Once again, Sadist, splendid looking skin, but we now have to avert our eyes and look over to here, for we have a splendid looking sheet metal door right here in front of us. Let's get the lights on ever so nicely. So, son, can you get yourself in a lovely little position? Let's get a good look at the sheen. Oh yes, right, so let's turn the lights back on here so we can get a bit of the gloss, the reflection. Yep. That's looking mighty fine. So, the shattered design prevails again. We have another Ultramarine skin being accepted. Oh. Messed that one up a little bit. So, yeah. The cool vibe of all the other deplorables. You can easily see in the likes of this as well. Very nice. Very cool. Now, last week, of course, we had the likes of the large box being instantly accepted. This week, we've got the likes of the sheet metal door instantly being accepted. Did we see the exact same behaviour? Yes, indeed. Hopping out of here, I can point out to you that the Ultramarine large box got completely bought out. Now, is that its actual price at the moment? For now, but it's not going to be that price forever. Yes, a lot of people jumped in because they're very hyped up for it, but it will gradually go down a fair bit. But for now, there's a lot of investment into it. There's a lot of demand. things are looking very good for the Ultramarine skins. And if I look over to the likes of the garage door, last week we got the large box being accepted. This went all the way up to about $4.50. Now it's not even getting close to, well, actually being $4, but it's still doing good. It's still in the positive, and that's something we can definitely respect. So Ultramarine collection, you've kicked off very, very nicely, but are you going to continue keep getting more and more, skins accepted? So many deplorable collections so far this year ended at 2 or 3 skins being accepted. Just 2 or 3, and it happened multiple times. We're now at number 3. Now, of course, Jiba very likely will be putting out another skin pretty quickly, as early as this weekend, and chances are maybe that'll be potentially accepted next week as well. It'll be interesting, but I have doubts. I'm not sure if Facepunch is going to immediately accept another one immediately. Maybe, we shall see, but I'm conflicted because I've seen far too many deplorable collections just randomly stopping after 3, and I have to question it. So just to point out, we're seeing these work out very nicely at the moment, purely based on the fact that we've got these instant acceptances. If it stops after this, do not be surprised if that goes below its rust or price. Do not be surprised if that goes below its rust or price. A lot of people like to jump in on a hype, but they love to dump when things aren't going exactly super great. I know. So yeah, you can even look at the likes of the Shadowborn collection. This is the only collection that's received more than 3 skins accepted so far this year for a deplorable collection. And the first 2 skins initially were very, very... Well, they're doing very good for themselves with all the acceptances. But once it dried up, down, down, down. And now these are the ones that are in the positive. That's a bit funny, but yeah, that's just how things are, it seems. Right, anyway, so you, in particular, the sheep in the door, whilst you look mighty fine and look ever so nice and cool, we have to sit here and question, how likely are you going to retain your value? How likely are you going to hold up your price? It's all dependent if we actually get a collection continuation. By default, sheep in the doors this year, they have not performed very well at all. Every single sheep in the door that came out in 2024, they've gone down in price. Very sad to see, but it's something we definitely have to be prepared for. So I'm looking at this and sitting there, and I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised if I could pick this up for a cheaper price. Wouldn't doubt it. Now, if it does get an instant acceptance the very next week as well, all right, I very likely won't be able to pick that up with a cheaper buy order, am I? But further future, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops off. So again, let's just do the old comparison situation. Sheet metal doors, how are you currently holding up? What do we see? Get a good look at this. Every single one of them is in the negative. Chat, have you did any of you buy a sheet metal door this year, chat? Did any of you happen to buy one? Or did you just pick up a whole bunch of them with the likes of buy orders? I bought up quite a fair bit myself. But yeah, every single one of them is in the negative. And yeah, we have received Twitch drops and whatnot. Awkward. Now, the Neon Lighthouse door is actually doing a little bit better, but it wasn't doing super great until we got the collection continuation, until we got the double doors accepted today. So yeah, the barders are still only going up to $1.20 and that's it. But some people still jumped in and bought out all the stock. So that's probably the only thing you can really rely upon. So if we don't get it, it's just going to suffer. And I can prove that real quickly. Look, it was suffering pretty badly. Wow, it went as low as $1.20. Ooh, that was quick. But yeah, that's just the highest barders, isn't it? So, alright then. You. Again, I very likely will just stick with doing a buy order. I would love to see the collection continue. It's just not something I can fully rely upon. So, it's abnormal. We can use that to our advantage. Barders next Wednesday. Abnormal barder support. Then we'll consider if we actually want to jump into it. But I'll be honest with you, I'll probably just pick them up for about $1.20 at some point in the further future. Cool. Right, let's move on then. Let's start yapping about the likes of the Rainbow Pony Pump Shotgun. Rainbow Pony has now become a much bigger collection with 26 skins accepted. This is one of the largest skin collection in all of Rust. I think it's like top 5 at the very least. So over the years, yep, plenty of cool looking weapons and tools, clothing and armour, and now we've got another interesting looking weapon. So, giving that a good look, let's hop over to here. Let's whip it out. And let's give it a good old look. And as you can see, it's got a pretty cool, colourful looking design right here in front of me. That's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty nice. Bright and colourful, cutesy. Now, is this a type of skin that you love to enjoy using? Or is it a type of skin that you like to use to troll other people? Do you like to go, tee-hee, I'm going to blast your head off with the shotgun? You know, a lot of people would get pretty upset by that. So, yeah, alright. Get the most colourful looking pump shotgun that you can find and wreak havoc. Now, for you, you're probably going to sit there and ask, hey, what does it look like in the dark with the aim sight? Yeah, it's visible, but yeah, try your best at the very least. It's not super visible, but it is certainly visible enough. And if I could just quickly roam around and look at the ground area during the day, as you can see, this pink aim sight is going to be pretty good for every single environment. You don't have anything to worry about. It's not like you're sniping someone from far away anyway. You're just going to get up close and go, there you go. Right, so, big old schmack and a quick old reload right here. Awesome. So that's looking fine. Now we have to question. Alright, so pump shotguns. Don't get many of those accepted, do we? How's that going to hold up? Well then, looking at this, I will sit here and say, earlier this year we've had 2 other pump shotguns, but they didn't sell that much. This only did 9,500 sales. And to my surprise, the black gold pump shotgun, which I thought would sell quite a fair bit better, only did just under 8,000 subscribers. These, selling hardly anything, worked out perfectly for them. This right here, well, at the moment, you're the 4th best selling skin. But overall with this Rust store, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if we don't see that many sales. I will not be surprised in the slightest at all. Alright? Now, by default, maybe it still works out nicely. Like, look at the previous week. This batch of skins, not everybody was going super crazy, but, you know, it still ended up with a good, decent average of about, like, let's say 15,000 at least. Ramen Noodle Senpai wants it. Hey, you're more than welcome. But I am sitting here and questioning it just a fair bit. Like, okay, it just so happens to be accepted just before October. Could things still go a little bit... I mean, a smart builder can always lead to some success, but however, this is not abnormal. This is not abnormal at all, I'm afraid to say. So, you have to question, well, by Wednesday, we'll look at it, we'll see how many sales have happened, and we'll think, right, how likely is that going to do well? If it sells hardly anything, okay, I would steer more towards the idea of, oh, you know what, maybe it won't be so bad. Maybe things might work out quite nicely. But just take a look at all the pump shotgun skins that exist. Get a good look at that. And wow, actually, all of them are still doing good. Now, they all rose up in price quite nicely like a year or two ago when we had the slugs buff, and suddenly this was a destructive force, but then they nerfed it again, and things did like roll back a fair bit in terms of interest. But the vast majority of these skins are doing very well. The summer must have been, been very good for it all. Okay, cool. But there's another thing I should address. Both of these skins here, whilst they look like they're doing very well for themselves, they also have hardly any stock, hardly any, listings. So maybe that's also a contributing factor. We'll have to agree with that to a point. Okay. So we'll see how much it sells. We'll consider where to go from there. But I probably, at the very least, will probably be offering at least like $1.50. Yeah, I won't be too upset by that. But I can't really verify if that's what I'm going to do until I see all the sales by Wednesday. So that's how I'm going to go about that. Cool. Right, so best of luck to you, Mr. Pump Shotgun. Let's see how it turns out. And now we can go ahead and take a look at the likes of the MP5. Right, get a good look at that. Very nice and useful aim sight. Good for every single environment. Very nice, very cool. Quick little inspection. So this is a collection continuation to the AK-47 that we had accepted about a week or two ago, and yes, it's looking just as fine, just as interesting. We have the Bird of Luck MP5. Right, so hold it up, pan around, looking very, very nice. Nighttime, there we go. Right then, so you're looking mighty fine. Get a good look at that. MP5s. How have they been holding up as of recent? Because we did have an MP5 not too long ago, the Pirate MP5, and that actually ended up in the positive. Is it still in the positive? Let's go find out. The answer is, did it. It's not that week, it's the week before. Well, what week was it? Was it a month ago? Have I gone mad? I might have gone mad. Okay. I can't seem to remember when it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, I'm going to go click that MP5, there you go, and we're going to go give you a good look. Oh, it's gone down by 1. Nah, look at all of it. So, down by 1, which is still fairly good. MK Ultra MP5 is up by 8. Ditto MP5's down by 40. Tiger Stripe's down by 47. Is it glow in the dark? We'll take a look at it in a second, mate. Don't you worry. But, yeah. See, all of these are doing pretty bad, and that's doing alright, and that's doing okay. So I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, well, It's conflicting. $2.49. $2.49. So let's just go over to here. Can you see it quite nicely at night time? You can see the aim sight perfectly fine. Yeah, I can see that, and I'm sure you can too. All right. Now that's not glow. That's just how it looks in night light. Don't think and assume that's glow in the dark. If it's glow in the dark, it'd still be red. Right. Anyway, so with what we have here, perfectly useful, nice and colourful. But even then, I worry for it. This is abnormal at the very least, so we can use that to our advantage. We can do an abnormal barter on Wednesday night, and then consider how we approach it afterwards. But yeah, how many sales will it have? Let's just quickly look at all the other MP5s. And the answer is, well, you're looking at an average sale amount. Well, that only did 4,800, but that was an Easter skin. This only did 6,100. Well, 8,600, 13,000, 10,000. You're probably looking at least 10,000 sales. Yeah, we could definitely agree with that. But is that too little, or is it just enough? And if it's just enough, well, yeah, I can still see it going down below its roster price. It'd probably go down to about $2. Again, I can't answer that right now because it's only been 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that. We'll look at it Wednesday, then we'll make a decision. It's abnormal. It's useful to us. So we'll leave it there. Let's now move on to the next weapon skin. Let's start yapping about the likes of the... let me get out of here. So, there we go. Cool. Right, so first of all, let's just quickly go to daytime. Let's just adjust that a little bit. Aim down. Yellow, orange, and red for the aim sight. Should be pretty good, should be pretty useful. Nighttime, how does it stand out? Well, as you can see, that stands out quite nicely as well. That is a fairly standout looking aim sight. Pretty good, pretty good. Now let's go over to here and observe, look, and enjoy. So I'm giving this a good look, and as you can see, it's just like the AK that was accepted not too long ago, which is fine. Grounded, wrapped up. Diamond steel, is that what it's called? Is that what the design was called again? I can't remember the term, but yeah. Looks very DIY is the answer I'll give. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people do prefer skins in such a way, which is fine. That's cool. Not going to complain. But I have to be truthfully honest with you, you know. Is that going to hold up well? Nah, I don't think so. We just had the Abyss Saw. We just had the Abyss Saw. This very likely might not sell that much. So that is something we could consider. But still, I just don't have a lot of faith in it by default. So yeah, that Abyss Saw, that did about 17,000 subscribers, even though it's selling at $3 a piece. And, you know, with how the Abyss collection has, you know, established itself, I can't help but assume that'll be one of the Saw skins that'll be in the positive ever so nicely, you know, later this year or next year. You get the idea. But yeah, just look at all of them and you'll see for yourself. Sorry, I'm talking so much I need to yawn. Oh, sorry about that. The Abyss Saw is currently doing okay right now, but not everybody who bought this currently has the ability to sell it, so we can't judge it just yet. But the Thundergold Saw is doing alright, the Blackstone Saw is doing alright, the Redemption Saw is doing alright. That's out of like 40 skins right there. Only a few of them doing okay. And the rest of them, down 35, down 38, down 30, down 39. Not looking pretty. I can't help but assume this Heater Saw will very much end up like these as well. Down 30, down 40, something like that. So again, a smart builder can definitely lead to some success at the very least, but yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in it, I'm afraid. Sorry to say, but it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, yep. So I guess I have to leave that. Right then, let's go ahead and start talking about the likes of the Junkernaught Furnace right here. Look at the design, look at the detail, looking very nice. Got the little onboard computer right there, look at the sheen. Yeah, that's looking very nice. Pretty cool. A very welcome collection continuation. Let's just quickly snap over to the dark. We do still have the lights on, but get a good look at the reflection. Oh, look at the computer there. Very nice. And over to here as well. Get a good look around at all of this. If you can remember that Adobe Furnace from the previous week, that had nothing compared to the likes of this. That has nothing compared to the likes of this. Right, now let's go ahead and turn off the stage lights. And you can get a much better look at all of the emission layer when it lights up at night time. Very cool, very pretty. And now we have to sit here and question, well, you know, Is this actually going to prove to be a very nice investment? Or are there any potential problems that we need to be aware of? Okay, cool. So we'll go do that right now. Right then, so as I tab out of here, I just want to remind all of you that the Junkernaught collection has kind of progressed quite nicely. Mostly a weapon collection up until now, because we actually have just as many... Oh no, we're close. We have 3 deplorable skins and 4 weapon skins. Now, I care more about the deplorables, but here's one thing that I want to discuss. With the arrival of this today, I have not seen a single Junkernaught skin appear near the front page, or the second front page, the third front page. No, it's not nothing there. Nobody cared, or rather the people who liked the collection didn't make a move. So, alright, that's a bit alarming. Looking at the garage door here, 107 listings, get a good look at that, and over to here we have the likes of the sheet on the door here, 59 listings. Now, when I first looked at these 2 skins which had transparency and glow in the dark, these were special. The prices that you see here right now, that was expected. It was quite surprising to see it happen very quickly, but this is very likely the lowest point that they're going to reach. There's still a lot of barter support here, and reasonably to a point there, I guess. I can't imagine these will go much lower, and it is expected that they'll rebound and rise up in price around January time, post-Christmas, and the summer of 2025. So things are still looking optimistic for the likes of those 2, regardless of this appearing here today. But for this Junkernaught Furnace all by itself, well, whilst it looks reasonably cool, and of course it's part of a collection, I don't imagine it's going to hold up nicely. Now that's not abnormal. Selling at the standard deplorable price of $1.49, I worry for it. I don't expect much from it. As you can see, that's not doing very well, 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 this 2 and this 2 and this 2. Cool. Well, not really, but you get the idea. Yeah. Only a few furnaces will do pretty okay to retain their value. This still feels like an anomaly. If you wait maybe another month, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes pretty strongly in the negative. So only the polished obsidian furnace seems to be doing quite right for me at the moment. And if I go down over to here, you've got the likes of Neon Vibes, you've got the likes of Fireflies, you've got the likes of the Abyss. But the vast majority of these skins are doing bad. By default, I assume the worst. I think that's going to probably go down to at least maybe around $1. Potentially. Hey, we'll see how things turn out. But a collection continuation appearing today did not cause either of these skins to budge, which is interesting to be aware of. So maybe Fuff does go ahead and produce some other skins in the future. We shall see. But for you, I can't help but assume you will be going below your roster price. It is what it is. Very sorry to say. But Fuff, keep up the good work. Let's see what we produce next. He has made the likes of a sheet metal double door and whatnot. It's just they didn't accept anything until this furnace, so... Alright, so yeah, I fully expect to go below its roster price. Let's now move on and talk about the likes of the quarantine tools. By default, guys, we've been through this before and we'll go through it all over again. Quarantine tools, whilst you look pretty cool and part of a pretty interesting collection, that's a hatchet and that's a pickaxe. As you can see, with all the hatchet skins that came out in the past, except the likes of this which is currently being manipulated, they've all gone down by about half. Over to here, pretty much the same thing, down by about half. Things aren't exactly looking super great for the likes of hatchet skins, but the exact same thing does also apply to the likes of pickaxe skins. All down by around half. You sold at 99 cents, so you're kind of doing okay, but technically speaking, you're still basically selling for the same price as these are. And over to here, pretty much the same thing. And to over to here, yeah, pretty much the same thing. It's expected that these are going to drop off. Now, if I bring up the likes of the quarantine skins, more specifically, as you can see, all the weapons are listing at quite high prices. Now, not the rock from recently. This came out, what, a week ago? Well, a week and a half ago, I guess you could say. And, yeah, it sold reasonably, but it's down by 27% at the moment. Maybe in the further future it works out nicely, and that is something I did assume. Okay, we'll leave it at that. SAP only just became marketable. We can't really look at that as a good thing to, you know, what's the word? Compared to. That's it, sorry. But, I did think that would work out nicely, and I even bought 100 of them. I bought 100 of these last night. When I look at these two, it's not as reliable. When I looked at all the SAP skins, I knew a lot of people actively wanting to use the weapon itself all the time. I know that people really did care for the likes of the skins, but when it comes to the hatchets and pickaxes, very questionable. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but I will wait until Wednesday to look at the sales and then make a consideration how to approach it. But again, I'm not feeling super optimistic. Now, as I said, this week doesn't seem to be getting that much attention. It very likely might be a week where hardly anything sells. Okay, that's fine, we'll live with that. But if these sell hardly anything, they're definitely vulnerable to potentially being manipulated at some point in the future, and that happens so much to the likes of hatchets and pickaxe skins, because typically they don't really sell that much. As I said, very vulnerable to likes of manipulations, but that's something I wouldn't fully rely upon, so just pointing it out, don't be surprised. Alright then, so as of now, I very likely will just stick with doing a buy order, but I want to see how much it sells by first, or how much have sold by Wednesday, then I'll consider what I offer for the likes of them. Then we can go ahead and take a look at them in game. I was about to talk about the next skin, but no. Well, let's actually show off these skins. Come on, Hedge, you almost screwed up there. Like every other day, almost. Sorry if I come across as tired. It's really hot at the moment, and it's, well, it's a struggle to sleep. But, oh, look at that. Well, if I cuddle this in my bed, maybe I feel a lot more comfy, because the infection was spread to my brain. We've got the Venom skins. Right, let's just quickly snap. Oh, snap. There we go. I did that twice now. But yeah, you got a cool looking reflection like that. But aside from the infection, it's just like a standard grey pickaxe. So just want to point that out to you. If that's not really enough for you, well, at least you're aware. So cool looking pickaxe. Now let's go ahead and bring out the hatchet. Hello, Mr. Hatchet. Right. Same thing. It would just be a standard grey looking hatchet, unless we have the likes of this infection spreading all over it. The ooze. It will spread onto you, children. It will control you. Right, so looking pretty cool. Looking pretty nice. But is it going to be enough to hold up its value? We shall see. We've been getting quite a lot of quarantine skins as of recent. Where does it go next? We shall see. I'd love if Mr. Sircube made or resubmitted his large box. That was cool. So yeah. The throbbing ooze. Don't say it that way. I do like them, and the set in general. By all means, listen, if you like the skin, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated to keep wanting about nice creative designs in the future. If you like a skin, treat yourself. Just buy it. Not every single thing has to be an investment, alright? So, just sitting there and saying that. Cool. Right then, so best of luck to likes of Circu and Candytron in the future, getting more of those skins accepted. But I do believe we're now on to the final skin. Yes, indeed, we have a bow skin right here in front of me, in my hands. Right, here's a fun little fact. The guy that made this, what's his name? I'm sorry to say, I've already forgotten it. Mr. Azzy. I thought he was a completely brand new person. I was like, oh, cool, it's very nice to see a new guy get a skin accepted. No. Azzy had a skin accepted 5 years ago, but look and see his workload over the past 5 years. I'm not being mean, I'm just surprised by this, because I thought he genuinely was a new guy. No, he made Wing King Wooden Double Door. Look at all of that from here to here, and you're probably still sitting there wondering, well, what's the problem? From here to here was 5 years. Yeah, he made that in 2019, and that's when it was accepted. It's one of the oldest wooden double door skins. So I'm very surprised to see Azzy has randomly returned, produced a skin, and got it accepted. Props to you, sir. Congratulations. It's nice to welcome you back. Very cool. Let's see what you probably develop out the likes of this, and let's consider how well it's going to perform. Because as of now, it is the lowest selling skin at the moment. And I'll be honest with you, it kind of doesn't surprise me too much. It's like a worn out, damaged, but like makeshift repaired bow. I mean, okay, I'm not going to hate on that. That's still totally fine. I'm not going to hate on the creative designs, but I am fully well aware that not a lot of people care too much for the likes of these skins. They want something that's super colourful or sleek and interesting. Whereas this, it's a bit makeshift. It's a bit right. But with what he intended to do, he did it perfectly fine, so I will respect it. It's cute, it's goofy, it's rusty. Oh, that needs some WD-40, but you get the idea, I'm sure. So, hey, if it's not for you, you don't have to buy it. But I will sit here and say, in terms of investments, hunting bow skins, they don't exactly hold up very well, do they? No, they do not. So let's go quickly talk about the likes of that. So hopping back over to here, let's just close those real quickly. And let's just quickly go over the details in regards to hunting bow skins in general. So that right there, it's not abnormal. We don't have time to our advantage. The best we can do is look at this skin on Wednesday and look at how many sales it has. But Neil Meyer bow, whew, you came out recently, didn't you? Down by 19% already. Not that we're surprised, it was a glow-in-the-dark bow. El Diablo bow, sold at $1.99, now it's currently sitting at $1.27. Snakebite hunting bow, $1.99, down to $1.10. If you look at all the bows of the past, yeah, the legacy bow's done quite right, but that's like a completely different looking bow compared to everything. Like, that is a unique bow, quite literally, because Face Punch made it. Soulless Legion's doing quite right, but probably due to sheer lack of listings on the Steam market. Looking at all the other bows, they're not holding up very well at all. By default, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I'm probably just going to do a 60 cent to 80 cent buy order. However, how much will this sell? Because it's been, what, 3 hours almost, and looking at this now, it's only done 577 subscribers. If this sells hardly anything, again, I have to reiterate, might be vulnerable to manipulation. Might not be soon, but it'll be an eventual type of deal. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, hey, maybe we could get some more skins produced out of this. Congratulations to the skin creator once again, but come on now, you could put some more skins out frequently, can't you? Good stuff, well done. Right, so that's a wrap. That is a wrap. That was all the skins this week. My apologies if I was a bit more sluggish and tired. I do apologise. Now, I do have some other things that I want to go over real quickly. So, as I stated at the very beginning, looking at all the skins this week, whilst it's quite weapon heavy and, you know, has a decent amount of deplorables with hardly any clothing and armour skins, I am very much under the impression that in just a few weeks' time, once we hit September, much like what we've seen in the past, we will be seeing complete the sets in September. It might very well be it'll most likely be the second week. But yeah, you'd expect like clothing and armour and whatnot. A lot of it, as I said, 2022 is probably the best example, where we got a full proper set of Tier 2, Tier 3, and hoodie and pants with some boots on the sides and whatnot. If we get that, I wouldn't be so upset with the likes of this Rust store today. Now, if you want to get a lot more aware of the situation in regards to the upcoming Complete the Sets, if it is happening, but I'm pretty confident it is because it happens every September basically, please consider hopping over to the likes of my YouTube. Please consider watching my most recent Complete the Sets Rust Skin Candidates video. So Complete the Sets 2024 Rust Skin Candidates. Basically, I go over the details in regards to, are we going to get it, are we not? I lean more to the idea of yes, we are. Be prepared. And to prepare yourself, if you look at the description, I have a collection of all the candidates. I produced this myself. No, it's not official. The official list you cannot see yourself, but by making this, you get a very good idea of what potentially can be accepted. Now, all of these skins here that you see, they are not the specific skin that I'm pointing out that is a candidate. They are representatives of their collection. So give it a good look, scroll down, look and see all the various cool looking skins of the past. But you should consider looking at these skins in the vein of, okay, there's Whiteout Jacket there. Whilst that'd be a perfectly lovely skin to see potentially being accepted, I want you to actually go to the page itself, look for the collection link, go through the collection yourself. Maybe we'll get the likes of the Whiteout LR300 instead. Maybe the Whiteout gloves. Maybe the snow jacket. Maybe the poncho. Maybe the AK. The AK's another very cool looking shout right there. Comics AR, $10 a piece. Not anymore. Wha-bam. So you get the idea. Look and see if there's other skins from the collection as well. And yeah, you'd basically get the whole deal. So go through all of those skins. Give it a good look. I know so many of you want camouflage skins. You don't stop yapping about that. Sand Rhino, Thunder Gold, and flashbacks. Listen, if it ain't coming out for this, it's probably a bust. Alright? It's probably a bust. So, start praying. But yeah. So get yourself a good look at all of that. Get yourself immersed. Get a good idea of what potentially is a candidate. Need I say any more? Right, so back over to here. There is a few more things that I want to go over. Guys, September is only cooking up more and more and more. Things are looking very, very spicy. So last week, I'm pretty sure I pointed out all the interesting things that have been mentioned whilst we had Hack Week going on pretty much all of last week. We could see that Vincent here was basically testing out to see if all these assets were working in the world. We have legacy log piles. We have the likes of RADTOWN being worked on. Cliffs. We also have the likes of Wreck Boys. We have the likes of the dive sites. It's all been mentioned here. I'm not sure if the update's going to be the world update. It very likely is the world update or world update number 2, as you can see. But yeah, we're getting a lot. You've got to go give this a good look. RADTOWN Redux definitely looks like it's going to be ready for it. And with a lot of interesting content coming out, a lot of curious people will be wanting to jump in and get a good look at that. SKS, no idea. I have no clue what's going on with the SKS. I haven't seen it being mentioned in a very, 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 very long time. Oh, I've accidentally looked at the news there. Sorry about that. Right, so speaking of RADTOWN Redux, I might happen to have an interesting little thing to showcase off over to here. Guys, if I were to point out Cypex on Twitter, he has happened to have stumbled upon RADTOWN Redux in a functional state in which you can actually look around. If you go ahead and visit the likes of his GitHub, you can actually go look around the actual monument itself. Give it a second, maybe I need to refresh. There we go. So, whilst that's loading in, as I said, consider giving Cypex a good look. He's managed to bring in content that can't even be seen on staging at the moment. There's your wreck boy. Look at the asset. Is that something that's just going to be literally put to the side? Or is it something that's going to have some interesting loot around it at some point? I don't fully know. We don't fully know. It's not on staging yet, so we don't know how it's going to be utilised. But we can still look and see how everything's going to look in regards to this brand new monument. So once again, Cypex, give them a good look. I believe they have their own Discord as well, so consider giving that a good look as well. And here we are, RADTOWN Redux. Any second now. I will have this linked in the description if you want to see this for yourself. And here we are. Now the controls are a little bit weird. You can use WASD. So if I click it first, yeah, left click to click it, WASD to move around. Yeah, it is awkward. You eventually manage to make it work. So if your movements are very slow, you can use WASD to move about. Yeah. Now I know this isn't exactly holding up super great, so if I just slow down a bit, if I zoom out, you can see the whole area, and you'll notice it really ain't that big. Look at all of that. Press S to pause. There you go. So you have an entrance here, and here. You've got like 6 different entrances, 6 main buildings. One of them's just basically for parking. I believe you have 2 garages to be able to, you know, customize your cars and whatnot. I would be surprised if you'll be able to find bikes and cars here. And you have 2 like recreational housing areas, 1 big warehouse as well, and 1 sort of storage / garage here. So let's just actually go peek into them. So if you slowly manage to go through the likes of here, this recreational housing area, it's got like a toilet in there and whatnot and a bath. Now maybe there's going to be loot. This is like the living room area. They're probably going to be playing like poker here or something. Over in here there is a kitchen. They got the kettle. Good, they can keep making tea. Over to here we can see in this warehouse, again, it's all 3D meshes. But down here, it looks like you might have a bunch of loot. There's some doors going into here, so maybe you might need some cards. Who knows? Over to here. It's got like a little makeshift office with like a TV here. I can't see the TV, but trust my word, I've seen it. This is incredibly awkward to control. I'm sure you can tell. So yeah, I'm sure you can kind of get the idea that this really isn't that big. It's not like endgame content, but it's definitely an area in which you could probably grab some interesting loot early on. What is the protection needed for the rads? Not 100% sure. But yeah, you could give this a good look in your own time. Very nice to look around. Very useful to get a good idea of where to look. But unfortunately, as of now, we don't know where the loot's spawning. But it's not even on staging at the moment, so hey, it's an early look. What else can be said? So once again, thank you very much to Mr. Cypex. If you want to go look at this yourself in-game, please consider scrolling down to the description. I will provide a link. Thank you again, Mr. Cypex. Thank you for that. Thank you. Right. So, now that we got that all nice and said, is there anything else that could be addressed? Well, I mean, as I've mentioned many times, looking for the likes of the brand new skins on the workshop every single week. I am here yapping about the likes of all the new workshop skins, so please consider watching my most recent Rust Workshop skin checks for August 13, 2024. I have all the collection continuations chaptered right there, as you can see. If you just want to skip ahead to something that interests you, the option is right there and available to you, so consider giving that a good look. Overall, with the skins, I believe everything here today was an early pick or a typical pick. Yep, early, typical, early, and early. Wow, that's a lot of early picks, isn't it? But considering that Complete the Sets is just around the corner, that'll be a lot of extra late picks. And remember, with the likes of Complete the Sets, you can potentially see skins as far back as potentially 4 years ago. Skins on the workshop for 4 years, and then they finally get accepted. Yep, that's going to potentially happen. All right, so we've said all of that. I've made mention that this is the scores for the skins. The majority, well, pretty much all of them were in the positive. Yep, they were. Every single one did have a good positive upvote to downvote ratio. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. please consider looking at the likes of micro522.com to get a very good idea of how well those skins performed in terms of upvotes and downvotes. We didn't even get the top voted skin this week. We didn't get the kitty cat ramen vending machine. I needed the kitty. But no, we're not allowed the kitty. I don't know. So all of that was said and done. Come on, Hedge. Are you 100% sure you've said everything that you needed to say? I think I have. I don't think there's much more I can yap about. Plus my voice feels like it's about to drop. No kitties for us, I'm afraid, chat. Not now at the very least. Maybe for complete the sets. Complete the kitties. And remember, it isn't technically complete the sets, it's continue the sets. Hurrah! Because if certain skins were to be accepted, don't be surprised if the people who made them feel reinvigorated and want to keep put out more skins for that collection, and suddenly it's returned. Kind of like what happened to Quarantine. Just gets an acceptance, continues it, works out nicely. Neon Small Box is a great example, with the somewhat recent fuel storage being accepted, and then everything that followed it afterwards. And you know what? I didn't even mention that today. We didn't see a neon skin being accepted. Yeah, you might sit there and say Neon Dome. That's not part of REDUX collection. So, are we gonna get the cards box and the berries box? We'll see. Now remember, every Monday I'll be looking at all the newest workshop skin submissions. Feel free to jump in. Look in the description. You'll see the links to the likes of my socials, more specifically my Twitch. Consider watching me around 8 o'clock in the evening UK time every Monday. I'll be there to pick up all this. You'll just sit there and say, hey, Hedge, I saw the skin. Can we take a look at it? You pass me the link and I'll get it all set up and we'll look at it and you get an idea. Because for some of the skins that we've seen today, we've technically already seen them. Like, I wasn't surprised to see the tools. I thought they looked very good. I already saw that. You saw that in my short video, didn't you? We've seen it all already. So you could easily get an early look at all the skins. And if they're accepted, you know exactly if you want to buy them or not. Like, you know, no worries. Or, you know, an early investment. It's up to you. Cool. So, yeah, that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. And I do believe I am done. So, if you're still optimistic for the likes of interesting clothing armor skins in the future, feel free to message below. If you're depressed, you can message below as well. I didn't talk about last week's skins. I keep doing that. Stop dancing, you. Last week's skins. It just dawned on me, I'm an idiot. Right, so here we go. As I said earlier, these skins, they didn't sell ridiculously, but they sold reasonably. So looking at the likes of the Ultramarine large box, that did just under 20,000 subscribers. Spot on. When I looked at the likes of the first 24 hours of sales with last week, which you can always see on the likes of my Twitter, as I hop over to here. Hey Hedge, how you doing? Right, so media and first 24 hours of sales. We looked at that, we made discussions, because that sold about 50% as much as the previous week's garage door. Where is it? There you go. So that did about 12,000 subscribers. The large box did about 8,000. I was sitting there saying, well, alright, that potentially means the Ultramarine large box is going to do about 20,000 subscribers by the end of the week. Spot on. I got that super correct. So that's cool. And of course, as I said, with the appearance of another deplorable being accepted immediately the very next week, wabam, it's down to 4. It's down to 4. Now, just to reiterate, just because it's listed at that price doesn't mean it's worth that price, okay? A lot of people get really confused by that, and I'm surprised. I've had some people moan at me. In fact, I'll go look at my YouTube real quickly just to point this out. Look, I don't want him to get any flack, but come on now, you got to use some common sense. Where is it? Where was he? Someone was really having a go at me, but I don't think he's there anymore. No, he's gone. He's gone. But basically, he got really upset with me. Oh, there it is. These videos are also behind. What the hell? The AK is almost up 150%. Is it still, though? That's the thing. So I'll quickly hop back over to here and I'll look at that AK. And yeah, right now it's up by 22%. It appears. But that's the listing. Are people actually buying this at $3.60? And as you might notice, well, seems to have done one sale. Come on. Seems to have done 2 sales. And then it'll probably drop off pretty quickly. All AKs pretty much go down pretty quickly. If you look at the borders, you can see there is a big difference between something that's listed at $3.60 and the genuine interest. Someone might have offered a slightly higher price. He's more than welcome to do so. But that will eventually drop off to about at least half its price. Just because it was listed at a price Well, there's no other listings. Doesn't mean it's that price. I could, probably go find a skin that has no listings and list it for $1,000. Does that mean it's worth $1,000? You tell me right now. I could just go buy... shut up, you. Well, I mean, that has happened with the actual genuine rarer skins. That's true. That's true. But, yeah, no. When something sold like 15,000 and only has like 2 listings and one of them's listed at $20 and it's the cheapest one, it's not worth $20. Chill out. Relax. Cool. So, just wanted to address that. Sorry if I had to call you out, but you're not the only person that said that in the past. So, we've got that all covered now. Neon Core Garage Door. So, we did not see another Neon Garage Door being accepted this week. What a shame, I guess. You are not going to hold up very well either. We looked at this last night. This was an abnormal skin, wasn't it? So, come on, show yourself. Come on, show yourself. Come on, Steam. Stop playing games with me. It's probably because the Copenhagen capsules have stopped being on sale. And yeah, the bilders, well, some of them did climb up a fair bit, but they sold at $2.49, and the highest builder is essentially $2. And I don't think he's going to stay there forever. I think he's going to disappear, and then it'll go down to about $1.70, and then they'll disappear, and it'll drop down to about $1.50-ish. That is the expectation. So, yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be very secure. The Abyss are this here. Sold a perfectly fine amount of 17,000. With a comparison to the likes of the AK, which did 13,000 subscribers, that's fine. We're not going to complain. $3 there at the moment. Yes, it's very likely to dip below its rust or price for a period of time, but it's more about the likes of how's it going to look around January 2025? How's it going to look around the summer of 2025? We talked about that last night. I was like, if you go buy some right now, by all means, that's fine. Wait a long time, but that will eventually go up. It's a very cool looking skin. The collection has a lot of demand. I can't help but assume that's going to follow the footsteps of the AK. So I'm optimistic for it, but it's inevitable that it's likely going to suffer, especially as we get closer to the likes of October. So with the barter support that it has at the very least, that's cool. That's fine. Not going to complain. All right then, cool. Looking at the likes of the Bird of Luck AK, well, we kind of did that already, didn't we? So, all right, you did 15,000 subscribers, but it's inevitable that it's likely going to suffer like all the other skins here. You might sit to say, what about the MP5 that got accepted today? Weapon-only collections don't really hold up very well. When another weapon skin is accepted, by default, you don't really tend to see that much of a spike in demand, spike in price. Very unfortunate to see, but it happens far too much. It's like inevitability. Right then, so yeah, look at all of these. Look at that Cell AR, $3.49, that's 99 cents. Ooh, and pretty much the same thing here, but that's $1.09. Ooh. And then looking at the crossbow, well, you're okay at the moment. It says you're up by 36%, but you've only got 8 listings, and your highest builder only goes up to $1.78, and your fat builders basically end at $1. So let's see if you end up all right, Hellborn crossbow. Best of luck, but you did do 14,000 subscribers. And compared to all the other crossbows, that's quite a lot. So I don't really think you're going to be holding up very well. Give it a week or two, look at it again. Oh dear, oh dear. I did buy 100 of you. Yes, I did. So if I hop over to here, I can showcase to you that earlier today I did buy 100 quarantine saps. I did commit to that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay. I don't believe it's selling at $5. No. No. So, yeah, I fully believe this will probably only go up by about 20-30%, potentially around January time or the summer next year. That's fine. I expected that. I just wanted something where I could just quickly buy it and then move funds over to another account. It's okay. You're good. Let's see if you end up like the other weapon skins in the quarantine collection. I'd welcome it. Double Baguette. Now, this was the last skin to appear. This, along with the likes of the quarantine sap, they were the regular skins for this week. Oh, look. Clearly it's worth $8.99. No. Highest builder is $1.10. No one's buying it at that price. It's not worth that price. So, yeah, leave it for a while. Gradually it'll go down. I do not expect that to hold up very well. It's very unfortunate to see, but we already have the Twitch drop. Why would people want to spend more money when they're just going to get the same thing? And then we have the Neanderthal Tier 3 armor. That only did 9,000 subscribers. This did 7,500. Compare that with like many other skins. It's nothing. Now, if we were to see collection continuations potentially on the horizon, well, Hoodie and Pants Tier 2, I'd welcome it, but we didn't see it, this past weekend. All the better for these two to rise up in price due to the fact that they sold hardly anything. But I've got to look at the actual listings. I've got to look at the actual bilders because these were abnormal last night, and I don't believe we went that high up. But, of course, more bilders would have been put down over the course of, like, 24 hours. And, no, look at that. Basically stops at $1.50. And I'm pretty sure that sold at $1.99. But, again, collection continuation appears. There will be more demand. There will be higher prices. Yeah. So Neanderthal, let's see how well you turn out, along with all these other skins here. Yeah, that's basically it. Right. Now I know I'm finished now. So sorry about having to add on that extra bit, but it's always nice to just go back and look at the skins from the previous week, see where they ended up at with their final sales. You get the idea. Cool. Now we are officially done. Hedge can stop. You can stop. We can all stop. We could just relax. It's so hot. Oh, God. Right, I am going to drop now. Bye.